Hi friends, grateful you're here. We're in the Catskills. I have a stack of books with me. You know what that means. 24-hour reading vlog. So the last time I did a 24-hour reading vlog, it was only semi-successful. I did have to outrun a tornado at some point, and even though I did feel like it maybe forced me to move through books quicker than I would have wanted to, one thing that it did do was sort of get me back into the rhythm of reading. I feel like I've been consistently falling into slumps and then just perching my chin above the ledge and then slipping right back into it. So I felt like I needed something that was going to be a bit more effective in getting me out of this reading slump, and I feel like this 24-hour reading vlog might be helpful. So the books that I have brought on this little reading retreat in the Catskills: Cockfight by Fernanda Ampuero. This is a collection of short stories written by an Ecuadorian writer. Dykette by Fran Davis. This is about queer couples who go away on a getaway. Revenge of the Scapegoat. I actually have no idea what this is about, but it's supposed to be funny. Oh, it's actually blurbs by Catherine Lacey. I just read Pew, so that could be interesting. Earthlings by Sayaka Murata. Paradise Rot by Hval. And last but not least, Happy Place by Emily Henry. I am here with Ivana and Kat, and the plan is just to read for 2 days straight. So I have faith that this time the 24-hour reading vlog will be a success. Welcome to the reading retreat. As always, let us start back in New York City for a second. Pero no Walmart. Bought a bunch of groceries, probably more than we needed, and now we have about 40 minutes before we get home. We were only supposed to be here until 1 and it is 2:30, so we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Where are you, Ivana? Oh, you're taking the video? Oh my god, that's so good. No offense. Wow, me llamó fea. Go. It's a video. Is it? Oh, that's so cute. Snapshot it. Snapshot it. Alright guys, what's the plan for tonight? We're gonna shower, get cozy, and pull out what books are people pulling out?
Little Eyes.
Little Eyes, that's a good start.
Oh, I have something I'm gonna read. So I want to read Izumi Suzuki's one of her short stories for Hit Parade of Tears.
Okay.
What
Are
about
you? Earthlings?
I might do Paradise Rot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something short.
It's a teeny one, so I think I'll start my timer. But I need to. Oh my god, 24 hours. Are we ready for the interview? Are you guys gonna join me?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's
Just
fully
me.
you.
Just me. That's cool. That's fine. All right. So we're gonna drive home now. Let me set my timer and get this thing started. Let's go. So I am a little bit undecided. So we're gonna do a first sentence vote because I don't know which one to start with. Let me bring you in a little bit. I feel real far away. I feel like there's a lot of pressure right now. I feel like we're in the slump, and if I pick a book and it's not a banger, this whole weekend's gonna be ruined. Just kidding, that's dramatic, but is it? So I'm gonna read the first sentence. I kind of know what the first sentence of Happy Place is, and Happy Place feels really big. Okay, so I'm thinking Paradise Rot because it's small and I might need a win. Like I just need to get through something quickly, but I also feel like it might be really lit-ficky, and I don't know if my brain is ready for a lot of lit-fic. So that's my hesitation and pro for that one. Then I have Dykette. I just feel like this one might be too long. Oh, it's only 300 pages. But again, I feel like I might need a quick win. Oh, that's a big ass spider. Oh, where were we? And then Happy Place, I think is just too long. But I also feel like this might be the one that I can move through the quickest. So I don't know. But let's see. So Paradise Rot's first sentence is there and not there. That doesn't help me. Outside the hostel window, the town is hidden by fog. The pier down below dissolves into the colorless distance like a bridge into the clouds. At times, the fog disperses a little, and the contours of islands appear a little way out to sea. Then they're gone again. There, not there. There, not there, I whisper, leaning against the window, drumming my fingers against the glass in time with the words dunk to dunk, as if I'm programming a new heartbeat for a new home. That's very beautiful. Okay, I don't know. That didn't really help me. I'm trying to be at one with nature, but I am anxious. First sentence, oh. The only thing Jessie wanted for Christmas was a nude photo of Sasha as the Grinch. So Sasha was writhing in a virtual fadge of green fur generated by her iPhone, naked and empty. All right, that's okay. That was easy. So we will be starting with Dykette by Jennifer Ann Davis. So let's get into the vlog. I just want to finish reading the little... Okay, so she's taking pictures for her partner and she says, when her face looked hot, her tits came out lumpy, and when her body looked acceptably supple, the filter distorted her facial features into a mess of plush green fur and digitalized eyelashes. It was a thankless job. I hear a ton of thunder, but it's still sunny, so I don't know what to do. And I don't feel like sprinting to safety, but I feel like we're safe. Oh no, it is getting cloudy. That was so enjoyable. It's only been 13 minutes and I'm only up to page 9. But this is very funny and very like salacious. So enjoying her.
Welcome to camp. Believe in yourself.
Even if no one else does. That's right. There is a bee. I was trying to...
I'm fearless. I'm the most fearless one here. An engagement ring. And it said, ring by spring, anyone? So lucky to get to spend the rest of my life with my best friend.
Y'all are missing out on dramatic retellings from Kat. So we are currently at 4 hours and 25 minutes. I've gotten about halfway through Dykette. I thought this was really enjoyable in the beginning. I feel like this is just exploring femininity and the performance of gender. So it's about this couple that meets this older queer couple and then like in passing get invited to their like summer home upstate in Hudson. The character Sasha is like very obsessed with a woman in the other couple because she's sort of directly challenging, or not challenging, but it's a competition of femininity, and so it's just all of these like ponderings and interrogations around the performance of gender in all of these relationships. It's enjoyable. We have been doing reading sprints in order to keep ourselves focused, and that's been really helpful. I'm gonna try to get, I don't know, maybe I'll try to finish this tomorrow, but I kind of want to start another one, and that was my concern with reading sort of like a lengthier book. It's only 300 pages, but I'm not the fastest reader, so I just didn't want to spend my whole time here reading just one book. But yeah, I'm thinking I want to read Cockfight next, but apparently it's a little bit heavy. I might just pick up Happy Place. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the mood strikes. Just wanted to give a little update. I think we're gonna read for a little bit longer and then perhaps watch some Love Island tonight. We don't know. So yeah, but it's been very relaxing. It's been a lot of like scattered showers here, so that's also really nice. But okay, let's get back to business. The contacts are off. Love Island is on. The girlies are macking. Semi-successful first reading day?
Yes.
Affirmative. Good morning. Sorry, we're gonna go from sleepy to slightly awake. So last night I finished, what's this book called? Dykette. I took it to bed and I was like, I want to just kind of be done with it. I was speed reading it a little bit, but My general thoughts about it are a book. So there was this weird thing where they were talking about like a green ribbon as symbolism for femininity, and Sasha, the narrator, she had written an essay about green ribbons and their link to femininity. And then at the end, they were like doing this performance art thing, and it became like really grotesque and kind of hard to read. In the story, the characters were having a hard time watching it, and I was having a hard time reading it, so I sped read even faster. There was a really good quote about how in capitalism, everyone buys gender. There was also some interesting commentary on desire. That was Dykette. My concern with starting with a long book was that I was going to find it a little bit overwhelming and not be able to, or not be able to finish it, but that it was going to take up so much of the start of my little challenge that I was just going to become defeated. But I woke up this morning really excited. So I think I was really excited. I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to try to was really excited, and I was like, okay, I definitely want to pick up Cockfight, and I definitely want to pick up Paradise Rot. I have my very new camera next to water, and it's freaking me out. So yeah, so I was really excited to start Cockfight, and I am really excited to start Paradise Rot. So I like got up, and so I started Cockfight. I think we're like 8 hours into the timer, but that book is terrifying, and that's why I don't read horror, because I'm like, yeah, you guys are like creating all of these scenarios, but homegirl got abducted by getting into a taxi in the night, and that's horror enough for me. Her story was really, really compelling. I kind of want to read it in Spanish, but that'll go away pretty quickly, I think. There were already like really interesting themes in that, so I'm very excited. And then I remember I read the first line of Paradise Rot, and when I compared it to Dykette, I felt like Dykette might have been easier to slip into. But then I was continuously thinking about that little there and not there, there and not there. So I am excited to get into it. But yeah, we are leaving tomorrow morning, so I'm hoping to get like 2 more books in before we leave. I know Ivana finished Acts of Desperation, and we were just talking about how absolutely triggered we were by the character. I mean, I wasn't gonna say that in my wrap up, but yeah. I think if you're unlucky enough, everyone has had an experience similar to that. I wasn't gonna say all that on Beyonce's internet. I think that's part of the obsessive pull with that book. And then I think she read Our Wives Under the Sea, and then Kat read or is reading Old Enough. And I think she's really enjoying that too, and I'm excited to pick that one up. But yeah, so I'm gonna just sit outside and read a little bit. I would like to finish the books that I'm reading here. I am also reading Late Americans by Brandon Taylor. Oh my gosh, wait. But I found this like perfume called Imaginary Authors, and I was like, whatever, I'll try. I really like smells and things. And when I tell you that this smells so good, it's spilled in my little baggy bag, and I've been like snorting. It smells so nice. No! And it's because it's a little bit masculine but a little bit fruity, and I don't know how to describe that. It smells like pears and a man on a Vespa. I don't know, but that's that. So let's get to reading. Just quick, that book is all the way fucked up. All the way fucked up. We're at the halfway part officially. Okay, this was a lot. This was a lot. So I jokingly said that reading about real life atrocities, like getting abducted while you're thinking you're just like taking a random cab home, that's the most terrifying kind of horror to me, and that was totally what this book was about. So this is a short story collection. I feel like initially it's looking at the sort of atrocities that are happening against women on a broader scale, and then it sort of like slithers into the home, and it talks about the violence against women in domestic spaces, oftentimes by their fathers. And I wrote something here. I wrote, we often think of tragedies happening to daughters, but forget that they're often committed by fathers. That I feel like that was what it was exploring. It was also exploring this absence of paternal love and how children will often look to their contemporaries or their like familial cohorts for that love, but then oftentimes that search for affection and love can become like a perversion. And I don't know if it becomes a perversion or if through like the lens of what's okay and what's not okay, it appears as a perversion, because I think if you if you're feeling empty and you're feeling like you don't have that, to a certain extent, I don't think that it is perverse to look for it with those who you deem safe around you. So it was an interesting exploration of that, as well as who we find as safe spaces and how we seek that love and affection. And then I also was like, is it also commentary on how we perpetuate the things of our parents? Because the love that they were sort of demonstrating was very like what you see in romantic love, so like kissing and doing things with each other. And then if that's what's replicated in like a search for affection, is that also what's replicated and what ends up being violence in the community? So yeah, a lot of interesting themes. The only thing I will say is that, and I find this with a lot of books written by Latin American writers, is like the race stuff is always so weird to me. There's oftentimes like weird distancing and othering and like using black people as caricature, and there was some of that in this, and that's like annoying to have to constantly wade through because it like dismisses a whole diasporic part of like Latin American communities. It was a lot of just like white good, black bad, and whenever I encounter that, it pulls me out a little bit. Yeah, otherwise there's just one story and I like freaked out because I couldn't, and I think if I'm thinking about just like the different like views of love or how love can look different, maybe that's okay, but like it's just such a big no-no in terms of like social contracts and what we do and what we don't do with certain family members. So yeah, very viscerally disturbing, super grotesque, a lot of like violence and dismembering of women. And I thought it was interesting because it was looking at the violence that is often perpetuated by men, but then also the kinds of violences that are perpetuated by women. Even though like a woman's violence might not be physical, it is still harmful. So I think it was looking at that, and it was also looking at the harm in like passivity. Yeah, it was a very, very interesting book. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so that one's done. I'm gonna pick up Paradise Rot next. I think we're taking a break. They're inside watching BookTube. But I definitely think I'm gonna pick up, let me actually go get it. Paradise Rot is, it's 150 pages about, so hopefully I'll be able to finish this one today. I'm gonna go join the others and take a little reading break. We've been doing reading sprints all morning. I will catch you later. Already? It's been 2 minutes.
Timer for 30 minutes.
All right, let's go. We are currently at 15 hours into the 24, and I just finished reading Paradise Rot by Hval. Hi, editing cat here. I don't know why I thought my mic was not gonna pick up on the man mowing his lawn like 3 feet away from me. I don't know why. I thought I had a magic mic. Magic mic. Sorry, distracted. It'll be over soon enough. I'll try to put some indication of when it ends. It's just this clip. But yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a lot of weird books during this reading vlog. So this one, I finished it and I just felt like sticky and uncomfortable, and I think that's how I would describe this book. I think it was just a very like, and everyone and their mom has used this to describe this book, but it is just a super damp, I'm in their home. But yeah, it's like a super dicky book. It's about this girl who moves to this like fictional town from Norway. She is looking for a place to live, eventually moves into this like loft place with a stranger. From the beginning, there's just a lot of like documenting in a very clinical way, and then we learn later that she is studying biology, and so it sort of makes sense, but she's really fascinated with urine, sort of cataloging her urine and its hue as she starts to build this relationship with this roommate. We start to see I really hope you can't hear this. The walls or boundaries between them sort of disintegrate as everything is sort of disintegrating in the environment that they live in. There's fruit rotting, condensation on the walls, and mushrooms sprouting between tiles, and it's just a very, again, sticky book. We see our character start to have feelings for her roommate. I think maybe it's exploring sort of how easy it is to lose yourself in first love. You sort of get the sense that the apartment is being overtaken by these like organisms. There's moss There's mold. There are all these things that are just like crawling up into their living space. I think there are maggots and spiders at one point, and you see the roommate, you see her sort of acclimate to these little creatures like crawling all over her. So there's this sense of just decay and giving yourself over to something that is like microscopic but also very large in how consumptive it is. I enjoyed it. I think the perfect way to read this book is just like in a sitting, perhaps on a hot day, perhaps on a rainy day. I don't think it would do well like spread out over a long period of time. And then I didn't realize that Jenny Hval was a musician, so I was playing music for Kat and Ivana before. I would call this like a very sensorial book, a book that you just sort of like experience, and it was an experience, so I will just leave it at that. So I enjoyed that. Last day of our little mini retreat has come and it was pouring this morning, which was so nice, but it's time for us to drive back home and get back to real life, unfortunately. I also kind of feel that this right here, rocking on this chair, is my ancestral inheritance. This just feels right to me. Good morning, featuring mess. Yeah, I always feel a little bit like all over the place when I come back from a trip. And so I'm supposed to go to samba classes tonight, but I kind of want to clean my apartment, do just like housekeeping things, and finish this vlog. I am determined to finish this 24-hour reading vlog. So I am a New Yorker and I do have a car, and that means that I have to go sit in it for 2 hours because there's cleaning today. So I'm gonna go do that and start my timer and continue reading. I was going to read Late Americans, but I feel like I've been such a bad buddy reader to Nathan. So Nathan, my love, I am going and I'm picking up my Iris Murdoch and I'm gonna start and like dedicate some time to that. Yeah, let me go. These ticketing people are ruthless, so I don't want to be 2 minutes late and all of a sudden, oh, the city like $65. So let's go. We are sweaty, but look at what I got. Eucalyptus, because I put it on my shower. I have to roll it first, but it like releases smells, and then I just got my weekly flowers. And then, so I have like that infamous IKEA snake plant, and every time it doesn't make any sense, but every time I water her, I lose a leaf. And it's like sometimes I don't want to water her and I'll go like a month, and I feel like that's not kind. Oh my god, I really am sweaty. But yeah, I have that one. The one in my bathroom grows a lot, and it's really funny because I used to live in Harlem. I lived with 2 other roommates and we lived in like a north facing apartment. I had like no sunlight in my bedroom. Like my plant stayed alive, but I had never gotten into the concept of like growth in plants. So I've noticed that my IKEA snake plant doesn't grow. Every time I water her, she loses a leaf, and I feel like I've had 2 or 3 snake plants from them, and also the yucca plant, they never survive. So I wanted to start over. I want to like grow mine because I have one in my bathroom, and I kind of neglect her, but she's been sprouting. And I got this baby. I don't know what she's called. I think it's a jade plant, but I am obsessed with, I thought it was called Coco Palma. It's like all over Miami and I love it. She's so pretty, and it was the only one there. So I'm excited to care for her. I might take her out of this pot though. So now that I'm done talking non-bookish things, I started Love and Profane. What is it? Sacred and Profane Love Machine by Iris Murdoch. I was in my car. It's actually not as hot as I thought it was, but in the beginning, like, you know, when your car has just been sitting in the sun, so I was like falling asleep. I was like, there's no air. I have to be here for 2 hours. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to DNF this one. And it started to get cooler, and she started talking about how she flirts with her son, and I was like, I'm back, I'm in. Everyone is kind of awful in this, and awful characters are my absolute favorite. So very, very, very excited I kind of like lost track of time as I started to read it. So very excited to pick this one back up. So I'm gonna put my groceries away. Yeah, I really want to clean my apartment, like deep clean it. So I started to clean it before we left, and then I fell into the group chat. So let me get that done, and then I'm going to set my timer either this afternoon or tonight, because we are finishing the vlog tonight. Oops. I was supposed to start reading hours ago, but my apartment is spotless, so we take our wins where we can get them. It is like 9 p.m. I want to move forward in the Murdoch just because I'm interested and I keep thinking about it. So I'm gonna start the timer again and yeah, just get a little more reading done. So timer starts now. almost at 22 hours. I'm gonna switch. So I was reading a little bit of Braiding Sweetgrass, but I'm going to hop over to my Murdoch. So we're almost there. Almost there. I'm so hopeful. I mean, I'm gonna do it. If I didn't do it, that'd be like pretty silly. The writing in this is so excellent. I think what it is that there is like no simple feeling in this book. There's one part where one of the characters is talking about his wife's death and how she like really suffered and sort of tantrumed in her last days, and instead of like acknowledging that she was trying to share her suffering in like this demonstration of love, he bantered back, and then he's sort of trying to like grapple with how he handled the last days, and he's like recounting his love for her. And this is what I'm hungry for, just characters that contradict themselves, and not to say like harm in a gratuitous way, but I think when we move through the world, we inevitably, it's not always seamless and it's not always rose tinted the way we move through the world. I think that oftentimes, I don't know, I just appreciate things that are depicted with so much realism and with so much complexity. Yeah. Wait, oh my god. I don't even know what 24 hours on this looks like. Am I supposed to read for the last 3? Wow. How are you doing? How's your day been going? Okay, we got 20 seconds left. 10 seconds. This is, I really do not believe this is how it's supposed to end. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 24, baby. I feel accomplished. I feel like I can take on the world. So to recap, during this 24-hour reading vlog, we read Dykette by Fran Davis, Cockfight, Paradise Raw, and then got into the meat of Sacred and Profane Love Machine by Iris Murdoch. And read a little bit of Braiding Sweetgrass. So I would say that is a success. That was fun. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm glad there were no natural disasters that had to be averted this time around. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed your time in the Catskills with us. As always, I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch. I encourage you, if you want to just one day do a 24-hour reading, I think it's a great way to just get into the thick of reading. All right, I really do think that's it. I've held you for long enough. Bye.
There's a saying called NFA, ni puta idea.
Cut that out. Absolutely will not be cutting that out. Absolutely will be emphasizing that in post.